Hello and welcome to the second season, 33rd episode of Renaissance Weekly. So glad you can join us. I'm Michael Colosi. Today on the show we have Professional Speakers Day, Lighthouse Day, and particularly Preposterous Packaging Day. First we got the weather report from our very own weatherman Walter Villigore. Walter, let's go with the weather.
Thanks, Mike. This week's forecast is Monday, partly cloudy, high of 85, low of 65. Tuesday, cloudy, high of 82, low of 67. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high of 90, low of 68. Thursday, partly cloudy, high of 88, low of 65. Friday, showers, high of 82, low of 62. Now back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Walter. You know, today is Professional Speakers Day, and here I am with some information on that. Let's cut to that clip. Thanks, me. Today is Professional Speakers Day. The soft squeal of the microphone can belay many different feelings, but when you are there to listen to someone speak on any number of topics, so this is the day to embrace those that stand up on a stage and speak about any topic, informing, educating, and embracing the very natures they espouse. So help them celebrate Professional Speakers Day by stepping up and learning something today. One could say this day originally started when people started listening to one another. We have been a race of beings capable of learning from a number of centuries now, and part of that is listening to others' stories, taking away the lessons they've learned. This is the real heart, maybe word is the more appropriate, of Professional Speakers Day, the ability for someone to impart a lesson to us with just the spoken word. Whether it is someone speaking about getting out of debt, or another speaking about faith and the assistance it has provided them. Maybe it is those that are trying to teach us how to fold an origami crane, or learn to disassemble a combustion engine. Every one of those speakers are helping us learn something we did not know before. And that is the hardest part, explaining how to do these things with just the words they speak. Occasionally there are pictures present to assist, but most of the work is done only by the spoken word and a microphone. Go and find a few speakers and attend their seminars or events. Maybe get up on stage yourself and speak about your own difficulties in an area, and how you overcame them. Giving advice in this kind of setting is not the easiest. Indeed, many people suffer from being unable to do it. But no matter if you can or cannot, maybe you can find a speaker and thank them for their bravery and knowledge. Or apply the knowledge you gain from listening to a speaker. Many of them think that thanks is enough, just knowing they help someone to better themselves in some way. But the difficulties in standing before a crowd and speaking about something they have had difficulty with is empowering to many. This helps them do even better. So go and listen to them speak, and maybe even give them a great big round of applause for their help. Now back to me. Thanks, me. Those are some interesting facts. Today is August 7th, and if you celebrate a birthday today, you celebrate the likes of B.J. Thomas, best known for singing Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head and Hooked on a Feelin'. He turned 75. Tobin Bell, best known as John Kramer, aka Jigsaw, in the Jigsaw film franchise, he turned 75. The film Jigsaw opens October 27th, and I'm very much looking forward to that. John Glover, remembered as Lionel Luthor on Smallville, as well as Samson Gray, the father of Sylar, on Heroes, he turns 73. Wayne Knight, better known as the Postman Newman on Seinfeld, as well as Officer Don Orville on Third Rock from the Sun, and Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park, he turns 62. David Duchovny, best known as Agent Mulder on The X-Files and as Hank Moody on Californication, he turns 57. Jimmy Wales, the co-founder of Wikipedia, he turns 51. Charlize Theron, who most recently was Queen Ravana in Huntsman Winter's War, Furiosa in Mad Max Fury Road, and is currently starring as Atomic Blonde, now playing, she turns 42. Sidney Crosby, captain of the Pittsburgh Penguins, he turns 30. Mike Trout, center fielder for the LA Angels, six-time All-Star and MVP in 2014 and 16, he turns 26. I wish someone would stop doing that because I'm trying to record this. Liam James, best known for his role as Noah Curtis in the 2009 film 2012, that's right, a movie title of the year, as young Sean Spencer on the USA series Psych, and as the lead character Duncan in the 2013's The Way, Way Back, he turns 21. As well as two people who are no longer with us. Stan Freberg, an influential man in the world of voice acting, who was the voice and puppeteer for Time for Beanie, namely Beanie and Cecil, the C6 Sea Serpent, who died in 2015, would have been 91, and Kermit Love, the co-creator of Big Bird and designer of Mr. Snuffleupagus, Oscar the Grouch, and Cookie Monster, who died in 2008, would have been 101. Also, despite his name, he's not the namesake of Kermit the Frog. I checked. Also, today is August 7th, and on this day in history, in 1782, George Washington orders the creation of the Badge of Merit, Military Merit to honor soldiers wounded in battle. It is later renamed to the more poetic Purple Heart. In 1789, the United States Department of War is established. In 1909, Alice Hewler Ramsey and 3 friends become the first women to complete a transcontinental auto trip, taking 59 days to travel from New York, to San Francisco, California. In 1927, the Peace Bridge opens between Fort Erie, Ontario, and Buffalo, New York. In 1944, IBM dedicates the first program-controlled calculator, the Automatic Sequence Controlled Calculator, better known as the Harvard Mark I. In 1955, Tokyo Telecommunications Engineering, the precursor to Sony, sells its first transistor radios in Japan. In 1956, Boston Red Sox fined Ted Williams $5,000 for spitting at Boston fans. I don't know why he does it. In 1959, the Lincoln Memorial design on the U.S. penny goes into circulation. It replaces the sheaves of wheat design and was minted until 2008. In 1959, Explorer 6 launches from the Atlantic Missile Range in Cape Canaveral, Florida. In 1970, the first computer chess tournament is held. In 1974, Philippe Petit performs a high wire act between the twin towers of the World Trade Center, 1,368 feet in the air. And they also made a movie about that not too long ago. 1976, the Viking program, Viking 2, enters orbit around Mars. 1984, Japan beats the U.S. for Olympic gold medal in baseball. Who would have figured? America's pastime, they beat us. 1985, a year later, Takao Doi, Mamoru Mori, and Chiaki Mukai are chosen to be Japan's first astronauts. I wonder if they were spurred on by their Olympic swim the year before. 1987, Lynn Cox becomes the first person to swim from the United States to the Soviet Union, crossing from Little Diomede Island in Alaska to Big Diomede in the Soviet Union. 1988, the Writers Guild ends its 6-month strike. 1990, Operation Desert Shield begins. The U.S. deployed troops to Saudi Arabia as part of the Gulf War. In 2007, Barry Bonds of the San Francisco Giants breaks baseball great Hank Aaron's record by hitting his 756th home run. In 2007, Eclipse, the 3rd book in Stephenie Meyer's Twilight Saga, is published by Little Brown, initial print run of 1 million copies. And finally, in 2010, Jerry Rice is inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Here at the Renaissance Club, we do a lot of work. We also combine work with pleasure, which is where social events come into play. Last week, we took a full club trip to Charlton and played Scattergories. Today is particularly preposterous packaging day, and to tell you a little bit about that, here's Rita with some information on that.
Well, thank you, Mike, for asking me to share with everyone, particularly preposterous packaging day. Have you ever battled vainly to open tightly sealed bottles of tablets, only to end up with sprained wrists and, even worse, a headache? Particularly preposterous packaging days aims to lift the lid on this kind of problem. So if you're being forced to use knives or scissors to pry a toy or tool out of an impenetrable plastic case, don't keep your feelings under wraps. Let the manufacturers know that their way of packaging items just isn't your bag. As well as wasting customers' time, unnecessary overpackaging also wastes precious resources. What's more, it leaves us all with extra rubbish to dispose of. An ideal way to mark the occasion is to avoid unnecessary packaging as much as possible. This is a day to bypass burger cartons, say no to supermarket plastic bags, and do some thinking outside of the box. Back to you, Mike.
Thanks, Rita. That was some rather interesting information. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Michael Colosi. And remember, folks, life always offers you a second chance. It's called tomorrow. Also, sorry for the quickly put together episode. Kind of doing it at the last minute.